Welcome back. Shiv Sena says that they've got nothing to do with the action that has been taken against Kangana Ranaut and her house. It was a pure technicality. Of course, it's sheer coincidence that the action came within 24 hours of her being served notice. But for anyone who would be fooled, what does this headline in the Sena's mouthpiece today morning say? A picture of Kangana's office, the part that has been broken down, and a headline that screams, Ukhad diya. What message is the state giving out? Let's go across to our panel. Joining us live on the show, we have Ratan Sharda, author. We have Tuhin Sinha of the BJP. We have political analyst Chetan Singh. And my first question is to activist Rahul Easwar. Rahul Easwar, what is this? This is some street fight where the neighborhood bully says, Dekha, ukhad diya.
Unfortunately, it has come down to the level of tutu meme and an outright political tug of war. I hope both sides will show restraint. Kangana Ranaut, yesterday too, she was using Pakistan and POK. So she was provoking one side and Shiv Sena was falling to the provocation. Hope some senior leaders like Sharad Pawarji, I believe from the media reports of Times Now itself, show that he was taking a different and totally strong position.
If he's taking a different position, once my house is broken, all your positions are not going to help me, sir.
There are two things.
It's cold comfort. You come and you wreck my house and then you say, I actually have a different position. So,
no,
what are you supposed to do with that position?
There are two things you shouldn't forget too. March 28, 2018, she was served a notice. This is an illegal alteration
Sir,
of the house.
that is not true. That is not true. You should really watch my show more at 10 p.m. I just busted that entire thing yesterday night. It is about a different property. The March notice is of a different property altogether. And you're still referring to that property. That notice was for a different property. It's not the one in Pali Hill. Now can we go on to the next tried and tested excuse? Go on, Rahul Easwar.
Yeah. And please remember, anyway, I'm absolutely sure even your news show, which is a well-researched one, has no excuse for she calling it POK and Pakistan. So, both sides...
Are you actually saying, again and again, this POK comes up. I do not agree with that comparison. But are you seriously suggesting that everyone who says any such thing should have their house broken?
Absolutely no. Nobody is saying so. I'm only pointing out that provocations were from both sides. And the tone
no, it's not.
The provocation...
No, it's not. After a point, if she was to say something and the Samna was to write back to her, that is a fight among equals. But when the state comes in and uses state machinery, that's a fight of unequals, Rahul Easwar. So let's stop drawing that false comparison. Tuhin Sinha.
That's the reason why High Court came down.
It's increasingly clear now that the present Shiv Sena is a spurious entity which derives its inspiration from the perverse methods of Aurangzeb and Babur. Because frankly, all those who have lived through the emergency vouch that what you see in Maharashtra today is worse than the days of emergency. Because of the whims, fancies and idiosyncrasies of an unelected CM. Today, the entire state machinery is held to hostage at a time when Maharashtra consistently provides you 23% of the daily new cases, COVID cases in the country and 40% of the deaths in the country. Here is a state government which is going after a private entity with unimagined vengeance just because that private entity dared to criticize the government. This is something which is unacceptable to the country. And let me assure you that the BJP is making a list of all unauthorized structures in Mumbai. And I can tell you that a majority of them would belong to people associated with Shiv Sena and some of which would be Shiv Sena Sakhas. We will ensure that all of these are demolished in the days to come. And if they are not, then the future of Shiv Sena stands demolished.
Chetan Singh.
Look,
when is action going to be taken against the other 45,000 properties that are also illegal in Mumbai? It's been 24 hours since the action on Kangana's office. But none of those other 45,000 properties are touched. Why?
Padma Jaji, there is no point comparing. We cannot compare it कि उसका घर नहीं टूटा, मेरा टूट गया, उसका illegal है, ये टूट गया. This is not the way.
Sir, जिसका घर टूटता है वो compare तो करेगा. जिसका घर टूटता है वो तो करेगा ना compare कि मेरा क्यों किया, उसका क्यों नहीं किया. If you're arguing on that point that this was an illegality, sure, demolish someone if it's illegal, demolish the house if it's illegal, but then demolish the others as well.
Correct. See, absolutely, you're right. See, it seems like what is happening right now, it's more of political, less of agency, and the organization department like BMC who is working on ground. So, I mean, this kind of politics should not happen. Why she was given by security? You tell me the country has got federal system, and as per the federal system, the security to the individual.
That argument we've had. Please stop trying to take us back 2 days. So this is a reaction to her getting why security. This is a reaction to her getting why security.
We have a federal system in the country.
I'll tell you why.
And as per the federal
system, I'll tell you why. Because the Home Minister of Maharashtra threatened
Tuhin
no right to live in Maharashtra.
Gravity
the Home Minister of Maharashtra openly threatened her and said she has no right to live in Maharashtra.
Would not have denied.
Do you endorse that behavior?
Tuhin Sinha, I did not intervene. I am just simply asking.
No, you are asking why she was provided by security. Security the answer.
Security to the private people is going to be provided only by the state. Second most important point, look at the person sitting on a constitutional position like Uddhav Thackeray, Chief Minister. The kind of language she has used. She has got Ram Mandir in between. She has got Kashmiri Pandit in between. She has got POK in between.
Mr. Singh, let's agree with your argument. Her language is bad. She shouldn't have made the comparison with POK. She shouldn't have got Y plus security. All of it is bad, okay? Does that mean that her house should be demolished?
Not at
should
all.
be singled
out.
That. Then what's the comparison? What is your argument?
Not at all. But
what is your argument?
My argument is that illegal property, is that illegal or not? If not tomorrow, today and all
process is not followed. Do you know what is the procedure for somebody's property to be demolished after being declared illegal?
Padmaja, I am not.
What is the process?
I am not arguing.
What is the process, sir?
See, the process is very much white and loud and clear.
Tell me the process.
In black and white.
Tell me the process.
At the same given point of time. So that's the reason.
Tell me the process.
Politics.
Do you know the process?
Which is going on out here.
Do you know the process?
Which is going on. And this kind of
since everyone keeps taking the moral high ground and saying, oh, you're defending an illegality, tell me what is the process?
Specifically challenging the sitting Chief Minister and using this kind of a language. So therefore,
Now you've come to the point. So Ratan Sharda, when you challenge the Chief Minister will hit back.
No.
Now you've come to the point. How dare she sitting there and challenging the Chief Minister?
It is the most blatant form of feudalism because Chetanji has sympathies for Congress. I can understand his behavior of being so feudal that he doesn't mind this kind of destruction of a common citizen for saying something. If everybody starts getting his house demolished because he criticizes the government, where are we? What is the difference between China and India? And see, the debate is about Ukhad liya. It is like a street-head bully telling a common man कि मैंने तेरी ऐसी तैसी कर दी. Now what can you do? And this Raut just in the afternoon said हमारा इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं. And Raut is also editor of the paper. He said हमका इसका लेना देना नहीं है, BMC का काम है. So BMC का काम है, उखाड़ लिया शिवसेना ने. So they are exposing themselves funnily. Today, Krish Somaiya, BJP MP, has sent out a tweet telling that Anil Parab has made illegal structure confirmed by the BMC, says challenge them to demolish it. Just one example. I have put in at least 3-4 examples in on Twitter, and one is gone viral. So we know that Bombay is full of illegal structures. Some are really illegal, some are seven mad illegal. And then we are Rahul Easwar just coming and like a rent-a-crowd and coming and talking about a subject doesn't even know. I'm surprised that a human rights activist, an activist for these kind of things, say दोनों side balance करना. भैया a common citizen trying to raise a voice about drug mafia is compared with a powerful BMC, with a powerful Maharashtra government. Worst thing ever.
Chetan Singh.
How many people have lost their houses?
Padmaja, now he is coming to the point. Look what is happening. Kangana has also accepted about the drugs 40 years back in her own interview. At the same given point of time, entire political flux started when Kangana Ranaut started supporting Sushant Singh Rajput case. At that given point of time, from where to where things are moving. Is she looking forward to become a star campaigner in Bihar election?
Don't be
Padmaja ji, politics Sharda ji, Tuhin Sinha ji, are they going to make her the star campaigner in Bihar election?
Chetan Singh, Ratan Sharda asked a simple question. You've got illegal construction done by several people who are high and mighty, who are very, very close to the government. But they are untouched. Why is that, Chetan Singh? Why is this lady who's on your screen right now, Kangana Ranaut, there's the latest images of her coming in, basically you go after the weak?
Look, Padmajaji, it's not a matter of weak and strong. It is a matter of security to each and every individual, and our constitutions allow. But at the same given point of time, federal system has been targeted, has been questioned. Second most important point is she is going to become a star campaigner in Bihar election.
I have suffered an emergency.
Why she has been promoted so much? There are so many houses.
I have lived through emergency. I can understand what emergency. You do not know. None of the person on the panel know the pain of emergency, know the pain of authoritative.
One of the houses you have seen, one of the gangsters in UP whose house was.
Chetan Singh, that makes no sense. Are you actually comparing Kangana Ranaut to Vikas Dubey? Vikas Dubey shot dead policemen in cold blood. And just by the way, you should also read up, his house was demolished because he had explosives.
Two people on the other side.
He had explosives in his house.
I am not.
And that's how his house was brought down. Tomorrow you will say, why was that terrorist house demolished? That terrorist was hiding inside a house. Why did you bring it down? Exactly like that we brought down Kangana's house. What is this ridiculous comparison? I'm just taking a very quick break. I'll come back to you on the other side. Quick break. All right, the question that we are asking before the break, what does a citizen do when the state not only bullies them but makes it all but apparent what their intention is? First, they come after you, Rahul Easwar, and then they proudly declare the next day, humne ukhad liya.
Padmajaji, let us not be blind. We all know there is a context. There is a proxy war going on. It is not like the Maharashtra state where a poor citizen. There is a much more stronger person on the other side, as we all know who that is. So let us be honest about it. It's a proxy war going on. Both sides are fighting out a proxy war, where what is usually perceived as the right-leaning spectrum, Kanganaji on one side, Riya being backed by the so-called liberal lobby plus Shiv Sena. There is a proxy war going on. If we only see the context, we can understand the whole picture. See, I don't think anybody in India will say after, especially the Bombay High Court.
Okay, so now you made it better. All right. So basically, this is a retaliation, according to what Rahul Easwar says to Sinha, of Riya Chakravarti being put in jail. Apparently, this is the proxy war they're talking about, right? You're saying Riya is being backed by the BJP, and here you've got Kangana being backed by the BJP, so Riya is being backed by the Shiv Sena.
Padmaja, first of all, let me congratulate you for consistently managing to find two new people every day to defend the Shiv Sena at a time when Shiv Sena and NCP spokespersons have themselves gone into hiding.
No, Mr. Rahul Easwar is not new. He's been defending Shiv Sena since the last 1 month.
Today, the way he's laughing, I'm sure, he doesn't have any conviction in his own argument. But anyway, I want to ask Rahul Easwar, what is more obnoxious, the demolition of Kangana's office structure or this headline, which very, very, sleazily actually, claims that it is done with a purpose. Padmaja, today, the way Shiv Sena has behaved, it has announced, it has declared that temperamentally it is unfit to be in Indian politics because no responsible party in power can behave in this manner. It violates the very oath which elected representatives and ministers take at the time when they are sworn in. If I may remind you, Rahul Easwar, the very oath says that you have to behave equally towards all citizens, irrespective of any animosity or bias.
Yeah.
A private citizen may behave in a certain way which you may not like, you may rebuke her, but to actually go after her with such vengeance shames the Indian democracy, it shames the entire...
And in that sense, it will be very interesting how the court looks at it tomorrow, Ratan Sharda, because all this while, people have been pleading, this is not vengeance, this is just, legal action. I think the Samna has made it very, very clear what action this is.
See, Rahul Easwar, since he represents the other side of the proxy war, as he claims, does he believe that Sushant Singh Rajput death or suicide or murder was a proxy war? Does he believe that drug mafia story is a proxy war? Does he believe that giving interview at a TV channel about a person's confession about drugs and huge lobbying in the film industry is a proxy war? And how did it become a proxy war? You say there is a huge, nepotism and drug mafia in the industry, and suddenly you are targeted. Suddenly the government starts targeting a woman. Her language may be despicable, it may not be good language, but did she in any way say something which rattled the government, which rattled Shiv Sena, which rattled drug mafia? So rather than empathizing with a view that would save our daughters and sons from the drug mafias and their lives, we are trying to make it as some kind of lobby war. This gentleman has also defended Riya for no reason, not even knowing what is the story. I am neither for Riya, not for Sushant Singh Rajput case. I have refused to go on any debate. But this debate is not about proxy war. This debate is very obnoxious debate about arrogance of power.
Absolutely.
About emergency kind environment. Mr. Rahul doesn't know what is emergency. Ask me. Ask me. I have suffered. Do I know what is the fear of the police knocking in the night? Ask me when you go to the jail. You don't know tomorrow what will happen. You don't know your house will be raided. If you doesn't know about it, please stop talking about it.
And you know, it's funny because every time you've got people writing, frothing at the mouth saying India has turned into a lynch republic. Is anyone going to call out this bullying by state and call this by what it is? It's fascism. It's fascism when a state tries to crush you and crows about it. All right, so now the parents have to step up and say, please just leave our daughter alone. Let's hope better sense prevails. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, for having joined me. Taking a quick break.